first video, we explored Dublin, Brunabonye, and drove all the way across Ireland to Galway. On our third day in Ireland, I awoke to an incredibly beautiful day in Galway. After another excellent Irish breakfast at the hotel, we were up and on our way. I kind of wish I'd filmed getting out of the narrow hotel parking lot because it was a nerve-wracking experience to say the least. But we made it unscathed and headed for our first stop of the day, Blackrock Beach. Just a short drive from our hotel, Blackrock Beach is near the Salt Hill area of Galway. Trying to get some cool shots of the water. Oh shoot, I'm recording. We enjoyed exploring the beach on such a lovely morning, and we were not the only ones. We watched as people jumped off the swim platform and swam in the cold waters of the bay, while others walked the beach and basked in the sun on the concrete steps. I think they're a little crazy. It was nice to get a bit of exercise in before the next leg of our road trip, because we had a long drive ahead of us. We left Galway headed south and rounded Galway Bay en route to the Cliffs of Moher. I'd only wish we'd spent more time in Galway, having only just scratched the surface of this vibrant and beautiful town. As we made our way along the windy country roads of County Clare, we hugged the left side as close as we dared. It was still pretty weird to be on this side of the road for me. The roadside seemed to either be all lined with rock walls or a thicket of brush and hedges, sometimes just inches from us. It was definitely an adventure. We drove along scenic R477, taking us along Ireland's western coastline, also known as the Wild Atlantic Way. We made a few stops to take in the rugged beauty before we made our way to Doolin Cave, only to find that it was closed today. Undeterred and super hungry, we found our way to a small restaurant in Doolin that at first we thought was closed. It turned out that we were McDermott Pub's first customers of the season, as they had only just opened that morning. As we continued onward towards the Cliffs of Moher, we found multiple photo ops, including Donegal Castle. We finally made it to the Cliffs of Moher, and it was breathtaking. It was a rare, clear and sunny day with only the lightest breeze, which means we lucked out big time. We felt confident enough to ignore the safety warnings and tread past a rock wall and onto a large rocky area at the cliff's edge. Would not recommend this. I literally got down on my hands and knees and crawled slowly towards the edge. I ended up as flat as I could on my belly in order to scoot the final few feet to get this shot. Seeing the crashing waves nearly 700 feet below, I felt vertigo for the first time in my life. That was it for me. Back to safety. We explored along the cliff's edge until sunset, and we made our way to Drumlin Castle, our stay for the night. James treated us to an incredible meal, and after a few whiskeys, it was time for bed. Since we had arrived at Drumlin at night, we hadn't seen it from the outside yet. Wow, this place was so beautiful. I ended up exploring the expansive grounds after breakfast, and then before we made our way towards Killarney. But first, a stop at Bunratty Castle. Bunratty Castle was really cool. We stopped here at my request, and I think everyone else loved it as much as I did. I mean, how often do you get to explore a complete 15th century castle? And in Ireland, no less. stayed in a castle last night, and then today we explored another. Like, this trip was getting better and better by the day. It was actually quite the workout trying to go up and down this castle stairs. And the view was pretty awesome. This is another reason I wish I had brought a better camera. This little GoPro just doesn't do this place justice. The remainder of our trip to Killarney was an easy hour-and-a-half drive. I forgot to film again, but we found our hotel and had a great dinner, a few drinks, and rested for another long day tomorrow. Next up, we make our way from Killarney to Dublin, but not after checking out Killarney National Park, some of the Ring of Kerry, and the Blarney Castle first.